Today we're going to discuss how to profit from support and resistance trading both ways. So as promised, let's get to it. So if you look at this chart example, you notice how we showed you this example in the previous episode. You notice how price action approached the same major support zone. Now what we're going to do is we're going to draw a trend zone. The purpose of the trend zone is to connect the support and resistance zones together. So once price action breaks that trend zone, then that will be considered as a safe entry. In other words, price action is respecting this trend zone, then it's going to continue to respect it on its way back to either the support zone or the resistance zone. This gives us the ability to be able to ride price back to the support or resistance zone. And it also gives us the opportunity to stack our positions at the higher low trend zone. However, if price action breaks below this trend zone, in this case, while price action is on its way back to the major resistance zone, then this will be considered as a continuation trade to the downside. And this will put us in a favorable position. We call this the break, retest, and collect. We actually have a strategy in how we place our position, so we're going to go over that later in this course. Now that we're on the same page, let's go over our confirmation checklist. Step number 1, price action approaches a major support and resistance zone. Step number 2, price action rejects that level while showing signs of exhaustion. Step number 3, price action gives us an aggressive bullish candlestick if at a support zone or bearish candlestick if at a resistance zone. Signaling is ready to go in the opposite direction. Step number 4, price action gives us an end of trend variation. Step 5, lights out. So now that you have your confirmation checklist marked off, you also can use the trend zone as the break, retest, and collect. Again, that's the break, retest, and collect. Now that we have covered the monthly time frame, let's zoom down on the weekly time frame to have a closer look. Notice how price action has respected this support zone and this resistance zone. Now we're going to take our trend zone tool and mark up the trend zone so we can actually see where price could potentially respect. As we wait for price action to do what we expect it to do, we go through the confirmation checklist. Step number 1, price action approaches a major support zone. Step number 2, price action rejects that level while showing signs of exhaustion. Step number 3, price action gives us an aggressive bullish candlestick at the major support zone. Signaling is ready to go in the opposite direction. Step number 4, price action gives us an end of trend variation. Step 5, lights out. And let's say hypothetically you missed the trade with the confirmation checklist. Well, just wait for the break, retest, and collect. Again, that's the break, retest, and collect. Finally, let's entertain the possibility you missing a trade altogether. Let's say you missed the confirmation checklist, you missed the break, retest, and collect. What should you do? Well, it's simple. Wait for the next valid setup. Guys and girls, please do not hop into a trade based off of FOMO, right? Fear missing out. Just wait for the next setup. Now let's zoom down on the daily time frame so we can find a perfect entry. Let's go over our confirmation checklist. Step number 1, price action approaches a major support zone. Step number 2, price action rejects that level while showing signs of exhaustion. Step number 3, price action gives us an aggressive bullish candlestick at the major support zone. Signaling is ready to go in the opposite direction. Step number 4, price action gives us an end of trend variation. Step 5, lights out. And let's say hypothetically you missed the trade with the confirmation checklist. Well, just wait for the break, retest, and collect. Again, that's the break, retest, and collect. Ladies and gentlemen, we have our entry. So now we are managing the trade. First thing we want to do is make sure that we draw our strong trend zone. So we're just going to connect our strong trend zone to potentially future points price action could visit based on the levels it already has respected. This gives us the opportunity to profit big from our entry. We have managed this trade effectively. Now that we have our strong trend zone, it's time to follow through with closing our position because price action has reached the major resistance zone, which allowed us to be able to see another opportunity because price action has approached the major resistance area. So now we're going to draw our strong trend zone. Now keep in mind that we already took profit on this trade. However, we are redrawing the trend zone so you can see what that looked like. You will notice that we extended out the major support zone and the strong trend zone just in case price action comes back. This could be a potential opportunity for you in the future. Well, that wraps up our lesson for today. We do want to thank you for checking out our episode. Until the next trading video, remember, we'll see you on the other side.